यम ख्वाब वुचमुत तम हेथ मरो तमिक मतलब क्या गो
तमिक मतलब गो ये कि अस गो न तह हासिल कह ये हासिल करन यचान मिसाल पट अख मिसाल सिर्फ अस कर बेहतरीन इंसानी जिंदगी हंद हवाल अस कर बेहतरीन सरमाई सर्फ यथ तहरीकस पे लेकिन ये अमुक अंजाम वुचान छना जन तो पानस सजा पाने बोलान जन तो कत फिक्रे तरम जन तो नज़म बगैर तरतीब बगैर सियासत ब्रोट यचान पकनावन जन तो आइन गटिस मज गर आइन गटिस मज अख्तिस अमल यचान करें यथ प्रत हिसाब गाश गछ आसन यानी अगो अचन गाश आसन न सा पर रुमस गसे गाश आसन ये आइन गटिस मज नेरान आइन गटिस मज पकान आइन गटिस पे गई खत्म आइन गुटी गो हासिल बे गो न कहें मुख्तसरन मतलब तुझे पता अस कर इंसानी वजूद के हवाले इज्तमाई वजूद के हवाले बेहतरीन सरमाया आसान जबान आसान अस कोर जबान पेश न द्राय जवानस अरमान न द्राय अशीम अरमान आय अरमानन वुचाहो बुत मगर अरमानन बुत वुचन वरई त्रो ये दुनिया तथ मरहलस पे वत मे बसान मायूसी वरई गो न हासिल कहें
तुसु अक सात अकिस इंटरव्यूस मज वोनमुत ये बाराकुली तो गेरा मेठ मगर पत चलान मेठ कुछ तो बहरल मुजुर कमा वमा कर आई थिंक इट वॉज नियरली 10 years ago बिफोर
मायूसी बस मतलब इंसानी सरमाए के हवाले अस चीज पेश कोर सो जवान
राइट
सो अशक सो ब्रोट कन क्या अचन ख्वाब नंद्रे मज लेकिन इस चीज में वन सह ये अस मा अज़म अस नज़म कहें अस मा ख्वाब वुचमुत कह मगर अस यह इलम कह वुचानो तबीर अमुक नंबर 3 पन्ने जाय पन्निस सतह पे बह महसूस करान कि ये क़यादत नापुख्त तेल जन गछ न खाबन अस प्रारन के मन नेर तबीर ते ये कांचा ये वुचमुत तथ नेर उल्ट तबीर उल्ट द्राय तथ तबीर मे पन्नी जिंदगी में सयासी जिंदगी में अकिस चीज जबरदस्त बह वन यह नफरत की मगर मे तथ सत मतलब कार साजी हंद सामान फराहम हेकमुत पन्ने खतर करित जन सह गो यह कि ये मफादच तो अनादच सयासत शुरू कर तम मफादिक तो अनादिक सयासत वातन नुकसान पन्निस सतह पे कारोबार करने द्राम ना मगर बासान जन तो गस रुपये आसनी जन तो गसन पलव जबरदस्त आसन जन तो गसन मकान आसन जन तो ये खून बहान अकि तरफ बैक तरफ सोचान बह दपान मकान गस मकान गसन असल गस मगर अगर तो तहरीकस मज अत कत मकान अगर तो तहरीकस मज अत कत रुपये अगर तो तहरीकस मज अत कत रिश्तेदार गस मोन बोड़ बन अत चीज यम गई गालिब बहुत वन मे गई न गालिब बहुत वन प्रत कन गई गालिब यमो चीजों तमें मकसद नश सठा दूर फेंक इस मकसद ब्रोट कन लकट कथ कह न्याय कोर्मुत दुनिया किस दोयमिस बड़िस मुल्कस सत रकबस मज आबादी मज वनस बग वनो वसैलन मज वनस बग वनो जमहूरियत के निज़ाम के हवाल सह अपुज या पोज मगर जमहूरी निज़ामा हेत पकान मुल्क दपान है तह क्या गो अत खिलाफ जंग जंग कोर्मुत यह लकुट जंग कह यानी हिंदुस्तानी जमहूरियतस खिलाफ जंग अत चीज आसन गए सह गए हिकमत अमली अत चीज गए आसन चलावन खतर हथियार सह गया अकल सह गया तजुर्ब सह गया मनसूब यमो त्रो चीजों मज नतीज द्राव ये न रूद गरक न गई घाटक
अहन यह ओबियस यह बासान यह वाजह यह दूर नजर
Masan, when you operate in thick darkness, you will always end up in wringing hands, never ever see brightness of tomorrow. Never ever. So how could we do it? We would operate in darkness. We never knew what we are engaged in, what do we really want to do, where do we want to go. Look at Pakistan.
Tabahi.
Indian, ekis maralas pe. I have had the pleasure to talk to leadership, highest leadership in India, like Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Manmohan Singh, L.K. Advani, all
Top brass.
all such figures as count in Indian politics, collective politics. But I think we should have understood them fairly properly, except Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I never ever could discover a leader in Indian hierarchy who could see tomorrow or who could feel my heartbeat. I never saw one, except Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He would tell me, Professor, इस गुत्थी को सुलझाना पड़ेगा, सुलझाएंगे. And he did put in an effort, a pragmatic, probably productive effort. He engaged himself in dialogue with Pakistan. That was an effort which could give you something. Maybe not everything, but which could give you something. I had the pleasure to talk to both Atal Bihari Vajpayee and General Pervez Musharraf. The two people I found during my days in politics who really wanted Kashmir to be settled. Well, they had their own ideas of the solution of Kashmir, but they had the will to do it. And what is where will count? See, you should count two people, just two people, Atal Bihari Vajpayee and General Pervez Musharraf. All others I have seen. I have nothing against them, but I have seen them not so brilliant as these two people who could probably see tomorrow, read tomorrow, and operate in tomorrow. That is where wisdom will count. And these two people were very, very good. If they had not, if Atal Bihari Vajpayee had not lost his luster as in politics, and but General Pervez Musharraf, his power in politics, I think I could still believe those days that we would be able to find a way out. But then, unfortunately, both went away, went to God. Atal Bihari Vajpayee died. General Pervez Musharraf also died. He lost power and died. Well, these are the two people who I think really wanted Kashmir to be settled. Not on my terms, obviously, on mutual terms, in the interests of India, in the interests of Pakistan, and in the interests of the people in Jammu and Kashmir. And that is where political wisdom matters. And that is where we lack in Kashmir. And that is why the problem.
Na pate Kargil to go spoil curious. Well, pate Kargil to go searchy. You have to take into account that story as well. Huh?
Failure was senator.
The failure was Hamesh Sanitar. It was. Huh? No,
I still think that it is in the interest of India that they talk to Kashmiris. Kashmiris comprise, different people with different shades of opinion on tomorrow. I also belong to one of the groups who believe that we should operate productively if we really want to live as a community with our heads high. We must be able to operate with our brains on our shoulders, not with our eyes or the angle of eyes. If you fix up the angle of eyes, I don't think you reach the destination. But if you go by your brain, if you can count the vibration in your head, I trust you can still find a way out. And that way out doesn't mean that you surrender your initiative. You don't. But you come out with a practical solution of the problem. You will certainly do it. You can do it. You have the understanding of the situation, the dynamics of the situation. You understand all this, and then I hope if we can rise to the situation, even today, we can find a way out, a respectable, workable solution is the way out, and we can find one. I belong to such a class of Kashmiri people who believe, yes, we need a compromise solution on Kashmir. We are Jammu, we are Ladakh, we are different people with different climates, different people with different political aspirations. So you need a unique approach to the problem, and a unique approach will give you a unique solution, and that is what we should be working for. But unfortunately, that is what we never did.
Basically, it was everything on remote control. It was not remote control si pet pakan. Cheese is pakan under the remote control.
Unfortunate. I will probably choose to not get into detail, but it's difficult for me not to say that yes, I agree.
Because boss na wuchan, met wuchmut umna buchus. I was in London. Como?
Central Castle Corpus.
Oh, Bushus Central. I'm not talking about the Central. Bush Manan ke Bushus London Mazas, Dr. Maliha Lodi, who was an ambassador in London. Beche Dr. Mushahid Hussain Sayyid. Beche pass shesha.
Very good.
Very. Emerge proposal had the proposal from Pakistan. Temindo was Musharraf and Hukumat. I think they organize a meeting in central London, which is near to my home, 10-15 minutes walk, in a big hotel. Butikor has invite. Proposal che, which me pata yukus election was name brought him election. Lelna when the book Kershran when you saw them karan boycott elections. Everybody, matlab prat kanskar speech 10 minutes, 15 minutes, butho was akhras the book 5 minutes the most. I need only 3 minutes, not 5 minutes. Mushahid Hussain Said is very clever, very matlab na zaheen intellect. मैं उन तिमन है मैं अगर तो तिमन हुरियत वालें ते बन्यू या बाकी ते वसु इलेक्शंस अगर जेनन तो अति गस दुनिया हज खबर कशरो हज जोन तत मैं पता हिंदुस्तान क्या करे क्या न करे दैट इज सेकेंडरी क्वेश्चन युथी हज मैं वो मैं अगर ते मरन ते तो अति गसन शहीद ए मलिहा लोदी गई खामोश बल सेनेटर युस मुशाहिद हो न यस वी विल थिंक अबाउट इट मगर ब्याख नफर सेनेटर उस लेडी सरताज ऐसा क्या तमिस नाव तो ही स्पीकिंग ऑन बिहाफ इंडिया यह मेंटालिटी दिस इज द मेंटल लंदनस मज बिहित इलेक्शन बाइकॉट मुहिम करें प्रोफेसर सब कर इग्नोर बट दे हैव अदर मतलब यम जन पार्टी का नो वी विल फॉलो इट यह सिचुएशन तो सूरत हाल वुकन यह सिचुएशन मान तो तुम कश्मीर मोकलोमुत यह इंडिया किस अथस मज ये न अपोजिशन तहन या वन हे नमन हालात मज तम ग इंडियन एम्बेसी वायान 2-4 डोल टास वास वायान तो नान 5-10 इत 2-3 सास 3 सास 4 सास नफरी बसान लेकिन वो मायूसी इतनी कशर नान अस मज जम्मू कश्मीर कशर सह नानी अलबत् आजाद कशीर हिंद बह वन पेड़ तम बहरहाल बट मतलब तम गाड़ मज हटो बचो हा सिस्टमना तथ चारम रोद नुन तत तो सिचुएशन यह Ana yel tam öth remote se pet kam ais karan ye he kun saate phutit. Ach battery hans te zarur. Tilen te man battery as aaj wusto situation kya ch. Aasham dapan wo gos kahnat kan I am if you gos battery dun ais chala ho panni mulk.
Kashir chu Mawana with reference to his racial stock. He is guided by reason,
Yes.
imperceptibly, not understandably.
Yeah, you are right.
I am horrified at the fact
He reached a stage
9 of our fellow Palestinian healthcare workers
in Kashmir politics, a glaring contradiction. He reached a stage when he thought that he should contest elections. He did. It didn't give him anything. He believed in dialogue. He did. He did talk to Indian leadership. He did talk to Pakistani leadership. Kashmiri did not choose to use the gun. But he could not avoid the gun at the same time because the situation had worsened to an extent where perhaps the roar of gun was the first priority to political noise. So he did it. He never thought that the gun would not the gun was never his weapon. But he used the gun to this weapon. Unfortunately, it so chanced that Kashmiri, instead of fighting forces from India, started fighting each other with guns. That was what happened, and that was what caused us a lot. And we started fighting each other in Kashmir. So this small group of people in such a huge country called India, or with a system, India with a philosophy of collectivity, India with perhaps eyes on tomorrow. So many things are put together, and you are just a handful of people. You take on such a huge country. Look at it. This can happen only occasionally in history, not a rule of history.
You are right.
But Kashmiris did it. And look at him. When the Indians thought that elections could be a way out, they decided to contest elections, organize elections in Kashmir. Kashmiris had two options, either participate or boycott. They unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, this is for history to determine in the days to come, but some of them decided to contest and some of them decided not to. So this constitutional practice in India was lost to no decision, no proper
Preparation.
targets, nothing. And the result was that we could not achieve anything in terms of constitutional effort. That probably was the reason which justified to an extent. I may not be for it, but to an extent justified the Kashmiri decision to take up arms.
Hello?
Kashmiris didn't take up arms because of their own collective will. They did it as a consequence of the situation which was probably promoted with a target by the people who wanted to not part with Kashmir. So that also is important, very important, and the result was what it was. We took up the gun and then started fighting each other. The worst part of it started fighting each other, and instead of fighting what they felt was their duty to fight India, well, they started fighting each other. And that caused us a lot. And the political wisdom would require not a gun for Kashmir. The political wisdom would require your tongue. Your case was very strong. India was committed to holding a plebiscite in Kashmir at the international level in the Security Council. They never said we will not do it. And even if they had said it, it wouldn't carry weight in international relationship, in international law, and in the international morality. Not at all.
Timay wunti chhana wana.
Huh?
They are not, them chhana touch at sat karan, them chhana wana any, they are quiet, they are not saying anything, they know it. Misal, we can say America te man search. Paga agar akhir gais America se wane sodi, se matrayak. Chuti ti hai. So wane gan yar Kashmir mas kya shte kana man gaina bolti band. Ay misal banan shus behaz ye situation.
He took up the gun against the world's second largest country.
It was not easy.
This is chivalry at its height, foolish height. But he did it against the world's second largest country.
Na jukaya, timay jukaya nahi. Ye damat kya usme snav.
But the tragedy that I would want to refer to is that we started fighting each other. The same people with the same weapon against probably the Indian forces in Kashmir was used against each other by Kashmiri young men. So these black spots in our collectivity would speak volumes of our tomorrow, and that tomorrow has come.
So we kya shtoy basan future mustaqbil kya ch basan toy.
A big huge change is required. Big huge change in terms of not only history but geography too. If that change happens,
Means
which is what it is, if big countries in the region, bigger countries, much bigger countries than anywhere in the world. Well, India is the world's one of the biggest countries. So is China, isn't it? So this regional politics will need to be understood with reference to the political or geographical realities or political and geographical fantasies. These need to be understood. But two big countries in the neighborhood of each other, India and China, not on good terms with each other, for one reason or the other. This is one of the most important factors which should be taken into consideration while discussing tomorrow of Kashmir. Number one. Number two, the contradiction that we live with in India is yet another element which needs to be understood with reference to tomorrow. Well, if the Indians choose to rule Kashmir, they will have to understand that Kashmiri is a ruler. A ruler doesn't want to be ruled. And he has never ruled himself, I have no doubt about it, historically, except in certain patches of history, yes. But by and large, the others have ruled us, the Mughals, the Pathans,
Sikh,
the Sikhs, the
Dogras.
the Indians. This is not acceptable to Kashmir's collective political consciousness. That is why the problem. And if this problem is addressed, if Indians today address this problem, they will have no problem tomorrow. But they don't do it. They choose the servants, not the masters.
Yeah, right.
Well, if this be the situation, God alone can save India in Kashmir. Because Kashmir is brain. Kashmir is brain in terms of history. He lived during Mughals, mighty Mughals, but he lived as a class. He lived during Dogras. He lived as a class. He lives during Indians, but he lives as a class. He doesn't always live in streets. That's where Indians commit a mistake. He lives somewhere other than streets of Kashmir. And this is where Indians will have to do a lot of rethinking on Kashmir. They will have to recognize Kashmir as a relevant political party to the tomorrow of the whole subcontinent, let alone India and Pakistan, whole subcontinent. Because you understand China, you understand India, the two world's biggest countries, not on good terms with each other. Troops facing each other. In Ladakh, Kashmir figures.
Yeah. That's
of the
obvious.
biggest rivalry between the biggest countries of the world happens in Kashmir. So this is a very big situation. And this situation must, lead Indian leadership, Pakistani leadership, Chinese leadership to a conclusion that all is not well with us unless we address disputes, resolve them amicably in the interests of all. We can never ever live in peace in the region.
You're right. Anand, yes, reality is a reality. Nobody can deny it. So it is.
Bu da tapus kunas be. Tapa tapa di böyle.